And I am pleased and excited, and I realize I'm in the minority.
Yes, you are.
Uh,
All right. Well, snow is always a wonderful thing. All right. Well, welcome to Summit Center for Spiritual Living, where we share universal good through love. And I'm going to light a candle that happens to have two wicks. The first wick represents spirit or God. I don't know if you can, where'd my picture go? You can kind of see it there. And then the second one represents us as community. And what? Come on. You can see a greater light. We share a greater light when we get gathered together. So, with that, thank you. And John, wait a minute, I just lost John. Okay. And Michael, are you on? Oh no, you're not in. You are. You would just spell.
no, I'm here. I think that welcome to everyone. So just to let everyone know, it's traditional within our communities to do it's the yearly review. And so what some Science of Mind communities, what some New Thought communities do is they take the first chapters, not chapters, but the introduction to the Science of Mind text, and they go ahead and then they talk about them during the 4 weeks in January. So our illustrious, very learned, very scholarly Reverend Dr. Carol Andrick will be talking today on the thing itself. So it's interesting to note that with the introduction to the textbook is that Holmes does not talk about that in the home study course. He refers to it, but he says that's if you want a good introduction, he said to read that before you get into the home study course. So now we're going to have John lead us in a song.
All right. So we can bring it up here. It's a new start. It's a new year and a new day and a new month. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start for the heart of living in a better way. Working together with the skills of many hands, helping each other make the best life we can. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start from the heart for living in a better way. Life becoming better as harm and suffering cease. With kindness for each other, we live and grow in peace. Oh, 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 making a new start, awareness growing here and there as we care for one another. love flowers everywhere. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start from the heart for living in a better way. For living in a better way. For living in a better way.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, John. Sounded really good. So as Michael was saying a few minutes ago, we are starting our traditional series in the month of January about the basics of science of mind and new basics of science of mind, basically. So Carol Ann will be our speaker today. Next week it'll be myself. I will be doing what it does.
The way it works.
The way it works. I'm sorry. The way it works. John will be doing what it does, and Michael will finish up with
How to use it.
I said it. How to use it. So, okay. Anyway, so that's what's going on here. And John, you want to lead us into meditation?
All right. Hope I don't lose y'all. Love is in the heart. Love is in the mind. Love is helping us with being good and kind. Living lovingly in the heart and mind. Living lovingly, being good and kind. Joy is in the heart. Joy is in the mind. Joy is helping us with being good and kind. Living joyfully in the heart and mind. Living joyfully, being good and kind. Peace is in the heart. Peace is in the mind. Peace is helping us with being good and kind. Living peacefully in the heart and mind. Living peacefully, being good and kind.
And as we take the thoughts that from John's song of being good and kind, and living in peace and joy, I recognize within itself God, spirit, consciousness, mind, whatever you want to call the power that is behind everything, that is behind each and every person, behind the nature of beauty, the stars, the planets. The thing itself is within each and every one of us. Those aspects of spirit, love, peace, light, life, joy, power, wisdom, beauty. These are all major aspects of spirit. And as we gather together, we together accept those spiritual aspects. We are those spiritual aspects. We are love and peace and light and joy, and power, beauty, wholeness, completeness, perfection. That is within every one of us, has us, through us, surrounds us, and throughout the world. Though I speak my word for Summit Center for Spiritual Living for today, as we start this series of the basics, and Carol Ann leading it today, that we take the time to remind ourselves of spirit each and every moment. That spirit is always there within us, as us, through us, and that we can help ourselves to become more like spirit, be more aware of spirit by whether it be meditation or just being together with each other, or taking a moment to just be kind, to listen to some of the beautiful music that's out there, looking at the snow, the beautiful winter, all of that. So that is spirit. In there, as there, everywhere. So for this I give thanks. I give thanks for Carol Ann being the speaker today. I give thanks for John doing the music, Hannah doing the Facebook. I give thanks for Kyle, Tim, and Michael, and myself, that we are all here and that we have that chance to gather together. And with that, I just give thanks one more time. And I know that I've spoken my word, that it never comes back to me void. It's already set into motion. That love, light, joy, peace, beauty, wholeness, completeness, perfection is happening right here, right now, within each and every one of us. And so it is, and so let it be.
Love is in the heart. Love is in the mind. Love is helping us with being good and kind. Living lovingly in the heart and mind. Living lovingly, being good and kind. Being good and kind.
Thank you so much. And as we open our eyes, let's just take a moment to open our cameras if we can and to see that magnificent spirit within each other. Looking with our eyes in the camera. And hello, Kyle. Hello, Michelle. We're happy that you're here. And we'll take that moment. And as the time goes on, we'll be able to look in each other's eyes and just recognize. Okay. Well, thank you again.
Diana,
Yes.
Diana, I have a request. Could you speak up, please? Or
Okay.
put your mouth closer to the microphone?
All
I'd
right,
appreciate
well,
that. Thank you.
I'll turn up my audio settings too. Maybe I'm not up high enough.
And also speak up, please.
Okay. All right. Is that any better?
Are you hearing a hush or like a shh in the background? Anybody but me?
Yeah. Can you is that better, Michael?
Yeah, bring the mic, bring your computer if you can closer. If not, just speak up.
Okay. All right. I will do that. Oh, okay. Anyway, so with that, I get the opportunity of welcoming Dr. Carol Ann Drick as our speaker today, and she's going to be talking about the thing itself. And anyways, it's all yours. Carol Ann, I'm going to turn it over
Thank
to
you, thank you, thank you. Happy New Year to everyone. And this year, I know that for each of us, we're going to have surprising prosperity, surprising health changes, and have a year that is beyond everything and anything that we ever expected. And I hold that energy for you. I know that. So you hold it, and I am excited to be here with this introduction. I love the introduction. If you never read anything more of Ernest Holmes, if you read the introduction, it's like having cliff notes. It's like having the outline of everything in all 650 pages. So I encourage you to write down the topics. So there are 8 different topics here, and I'm just going to touch on them very briefly, 9 pages. And I also encourage you that later this afternoon, simply read those 9 pages. You don't have to worry about understanding it, just read it. Because what you are doing is you are feeding your mind. And it will rejoice. It will be very happy to hear these words. They will be very soothing to it. And so do that. Now think about this. Do that every day, and it'll probably take you 15 minutes. Do that every day until Friday. And then on Friday, read the second chapter. And the second chapter, I think, is only 4 pages. It's very, very brief. So read that on Saturday and then hopefully Sunday morning. And you will be amazed at the difference that it makes in your life. Because what we are looking at in all the different ramifications, we are looking at the thing itself. And the thing itself is the power back of creation, the power back of creation. So where do we start when we look at that power? Well, this great love of the universe, in order to embrace and fully partake of it, we must also fully embrace and be one with the laws of the universe, because we approach that love through the law. And this is the teaching. It really is twofold. It is about the immense creative love that we have and is expressed through the power and the presence of the universe. And it is also about the law. Just like on our physical planet, we love and care for ourselves and we care for others, but we also have laws. And we have to follow the laws, and if we do not, there are consequences. The laws of the universe, we know many of them. The law of abundance, of giving and receiving, the law of cause and effect, and to do unto others. We also have physical laws that apply, and they are physical and they are of physics. For instance, the law of gravity. And even in quantum physics, we have the law of contraction and expansion. So everything is very divinely orchestrated for us. And what we need to remember that with every situation, we have the full power of the universe behind us. So I want you to write down these are kind of lines for you to meditate and think about. But the first one, the universe never plays favorites. I love it. And I always get a big smile on my face with that. Anyone, and that I'm not kidding, but anyone, including you and me, and sometimes when we're in a horrible place, can realize and live in awe of the life, and that's with life with a capital L. And we begin to realize that because we begin to realize, and you'll hear me saying it, you will hear Diana saying it, you will hear Michael saying it, that there is a presence, there is a power, there is a life force in the universe, potential, and a potential, in a potential which we humans cannot fathom. It is there. It is so great. It is beyond anything we could ever think of. The universal principles are best summarized in Revelations, the last chapter of the book, in the 22:7. And it says, "Let him that is athirst come, and whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely." So what our universal consciousness has in mind for something for us is for everyone, 24 hours a day. So the next thing I want you to write down is nothing supernatural. There's nothing supernatural about the study of life. This is with the big L. Nothing supernatural about the study of life. So let's approach the science of mind in a happy seeking normal way, and be willing to accept and experiment on what we think is the right thing to do, because the results of our effort is that we are going to continue to expand. There is a deeper understanding of the natural laws of life for ourselves, our relationships to other, and our relationship to the universal scheme of things. Now, if you look at physical healing, many people, when they have a cold, when they have a cough, when they have a disease, or disease being the body out of balance, they turn to prayer. I know in the morning when I get up, I have a prayer of thanksgiving, being thankful for sleep, the night of sleep, the day before me, thanking my body for how it functions. If I have a headache or there's something going on, I have the sniffles, I also accept and know that the right action is taking place to relieve that. But what we know is that some of us have spent many years, or even a couple years, in learning the deeper and deeper truths of our beingness. In essence, they are raising their vibration a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. And they are, and we can call upon them. We call them practitioners. And we can call on them when we have an imbalance in our body to pray for us. and be able to take the disease and literally transmute it by turning it into a thought form and then raising the level of the thought form. And quite easily, the only difference between a practitioner and their ability to do that and lay people is a practitioner knows it works and a layperson hopes it works. Hope is, a little bit better than despair. I hope something is going to happen, but when we can say, hey, I know, I can feel it. And I'm one to talk about feelings and focusing on the breath because they're so very powerful. And that's what we are really alluding to in the study of science of mind. The next topic for you to write down is there are not two minds, only two names. No, a rose by any other name is still going to smell just as sweet. The mind, the thing, spirit, causation, all of this is so much beyond us that we can't even begin to grasp it. And we never will. Because if we were, just think for a minute, if we were able to totally grasp God, the energy, and that awareness, what would that mean? That our physical mind has control of the unknown. And that's just not going to happen because the unknown expands out into eternity. The best we can do is to be in, and we always are in, God. We are in presence. We are in the life force. The best we can do is to be in God and of God. In other words, our actions reflect our place of belief. I think the Native Americans say that very nicely when they say to walk your talk and talk your walk. If you are not walking your talk, then don't talk. The next one-liner for you to write down is limitless power is at our disposal. Limitless power. We can do all things behind you and me, back here. Now, I'm not using this mind, going back behind this mind into the universal mind that has no limits. And this is what we do when we meditate. This is what we do when we take time and are in nature. We allow ourselves to step back into this creative power. And we use all this creative power of the universal mind every time we use our mind. And you probably are thinking, well, how is that so? There are times I feel rotten. And this is true, but even when we feel bad, when we are out of sorts, that creative mind is still flowing through us. And what happens is it meets us where we are. So if we are feeling low, it is like we are saying, hey, this is where I want to function right now. I just want to feel bad. I want to feel out of kilter. I want to feel, the universe, is not working for me. No, we are not working with the universe because the universe is always expanding. And what happens is it will expand exactly where the level you are. If that is the level you're out at, that is where it's going to expand. If you stop, take some time to get centered, go into, step back here through the power of the breath, through listening to some music, through reading something, but we are able to step back here, then we become vibrating at a higher level. And as we vibrate at that higher level, you know, the presence, the life force in the universe is right there greeting us. Okay, so the next thing to write down is all thought is creative. And I kind of alluded to that. And Ernest has a tendency to do that. He will talk about one thing and then he will kind of review what I want to say in another way and then move on to the next thing. So it's nice that there are little breaks in his writing. All thought is creative. All thought, even the negative, because thought is going to do one of two things. It is either going to expand us or it's going to contract us. We have a choice. We always have a choice. We can beware, creative, and expand, or we can choose to be down, to be upset, and contract. Because remember, the universe you only have two choices. You're either in expansion or you are in contraction. It's an either or. It's just like you can't be sort of pregnant. You either are pregnant or you're not pregnant. It is this beautiful either or. And ignorance. Ignorance from the laws of the universe affects everyone. Ignorance of the law, just like here on our physical this physical planet. We have laws. We have laws to drive. We have laws about speeding. We have laws about courtesy at the intersection. We have laws about guns. We have a lot of laws, and being ignorant of the law is no excuse because the law is going to affect everyone. If we put out negativity, we're going to get negativity back. So if we put out the negative words and actions, always we're going to get the negative back. We are here on a learning planet. I'm putting Ernest in my words. We come from and live on a learning planet, and an important part of that learning is to understand the universal love of God and the universal laws that we have to follow. There's an old song I remember singing when I was younger. And it says, our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're thinking. Our thoughts are prayers. So literally, as you go about the day, a nice challenge for you is to pay attention to what you're thinking. And if you see that you're thinking negative and feel overwhelmed, this is what you are drawing towards you. So if you feel, I know yesterday I was doing some seminal writing, and I was not in a good place to write. I was not making progress, and it took me about 15 minutes to realize, hey, I'm not in a good place, and all my desire, all my wants to get this done are not effective. And so right then and there, I just put my pen down and I went out. It was snowing at the time, so I went out on the front porch and just looked at the trees and drank in the beauty of the universe, and I could very much feel myself just beginning to relax. I could begin to feel my body becoming more balanced again. And I found myself smiling. I found myself just in a place of oh, this is good. There's no need to rush. There's no need to hurry. Everything is happening in divine order. And when I was able to go back in the house and I sat down and I started to write again. And before I did that, I set my cell phone so that I would uh, do a nice little chime every 20 minutes. And when the chimes went off, I turned it off and I would look up and look out the window, get myself refocused in a place of ease and flow. We all the time get to choose. We have choice. This is our free will. We have the choice about what we are thinking of. We have a choice to look at it either as a problem or as an opportunity to contract or expand. And this is what Ernest was talking about when he said, no one is ignorant of the law. All thought is creative thought, and we have a choice. The next topic for you to write down is the road to freedom is not mysterious. Rather, it is through intelligent use of nature's laws and forces, or you could call that collective conscious intelligence, or needs an easier word for that is spirit. We have intelligent use of spirit. A subjective mind, that's our personal mind, is the law when it comes to what we decide to do. And the presence and the power in the universe recognize that, you know, this is where she's going, this is what she is going to do. And it is not for that power to step in, because we are working on, let me say that differently. Our conscious mind is spirit, and spirit in that case is working with us. It really wants us to change and go in a different direction, but the subjective mind has the power of choice, and it is choosing not to go in that direction. And our conscious mind, our spirit respects that. The spirit, the spirit and the law both are infinite, and we can never fully understand them. The best thing we can do is to push back the edges a little bit of uh, the infinite. We can never truly understand all of the infinite, because if we could but think about this, if we could do that, then that would mean that we could have power over the infinite, and that's never going to happen. So the best we can do is to enlarge our ability, our expanding into and knowing and to experience. And with each experience, we learn the lesson. It might be a positive lesson. Well, I take that back. They all are positive lessons that we learn. Some of them are kind of hard to accept, but when we realize how the universe works in the laws of cause and effect and the laws of the universe, it is giving to us exactly where we are in our understanding. So we cannot create universal laws and principles. Rather, we can discover, and I really love this. We can discover and make use of them. So that's what this law means. Oh, okay. And I really like where Ernest said, our mind and spirit is our echo in the eternal thing itself. Our mind, our physical mind and spirit is an echo of the eternal life itself. And all things are done according to our belief and faith. And so when we fail, it is up to us. It is up to us to say, okay, what did I learn? And sometimes we don't want to look at that. We choose to be angry or upset for a while. That's okay. But at some point in time, we begin to get it. And the it is we have a choice. We have a choice to step back here, or we have a choice to stay in this limited mind here. So the next thought I want you to write down is learning to trust will make us happy. Learning to trust in the presence and the power and the life force of the universe. Everyone, whether they realize it or not, is seeking some relationship with God, universal mind, our soul, eternal spirit, great mystery, Yahweh, to a greater or lesser degree. Life recreates itself and reveals itself to whoever is receptive to it. Oh, this is why we take that time to be quiet in the morning when we get up. And this is why we can take time during the day to be energized in nature, in music and walking. This is why we take the time in the evening before we go to bed to open ourselves to that presence and power. The power of the universe honors our faith in it. The greater faith we have, and the faith it really comes through experience and knowing, oh, this really works. This really works. So it starts in very small ways and it gradually gets larger and larger in its understanding. Uh, Ernest Holmes says there is a presence in the universe that honors our faith in it, and there is a law in the universe which exacts the utmost farthing. And a farthing, I looked that up, is 1/4 of a penny. The law has got to be followed. But intuitively, we sense the entire problem of limitation. We sense it, we know it. Evil, suffering, and uncertainty is the result of ignorance. And remember, I said earlier, ignorance is no excuse. And it is only through our experience, remember, this is a learning planet, that we learn what is really good and satisfying and worthwhile. And when we learn to trust the universe, we shall be happy, prosperous, and well, or like I like to say, happy, joyous, and free. And finally, the divine nature is in everyone. This is the thing itself. Divine nature is in every individually. Universal wholeness, God with us. And that we are so reminded about that very beautifully with the meaning of the word Emmanuel and Christ. Both of them mean God with us. There is something inside of us that really connects very deeply with the divine being. Now, and get this, this is really kind of cool. There's something, since this partakes of the divine being, there's something inside of us that really connects with it. That means that innately we are divine. Look at that. Innately we are divine. What it's saying is this is our birthright. This is our birthright, and it is within each of us. And we feel that at times when we go very deeply into meditation. I know everyone has felt that there's just a presence and a power that is there. And here's the caveat, and it's a good one, it relates to us according to our beliefs, according to our actions. So if you think of a child growing, and they understand in the first grade, and they're learning their ABCs and they're learning to read, how different that is by the time they get to sixth grade, how by the time they get to 12th grade, and as they keep on growing. It's the same process with our relationship with God. Right. The presence and the power of the universe is no respecter of persons, and it is cannot be bound, and it will never change or validate its own nature. We have to do that validation in our growth and understanding. So simply said, the mind which we discover, the mind which we discover within is the mind which governs everything. It is the mind that discovers everything. This is the thing itself, the mind that discovers everything. And we read the words and we look at the simplicity, but in reality, the simplicity really eludes us. So I want to thank you for your presence here today. It certainly has been enough. And I want you in closing just to take a few deep breaths and give thanks for that thing itself. So breathe in and breathe in that thanksgiving for the thing itself. And, breathe out. Breathe out any doubt, any concern, or any worries. We'll take another breath and breathe in. And very slowly letting it out. Thank you for this time together. It has been awesome. It's been my great joy, and keep looking for the opportunities to learn and grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol Ann. That was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We have to remember, well, not remember, doesn't matter if we remember or not, because it's going to happen, that we can make the changes in our lives by the way that we want, by the way we respond to it. And we also can um, realize that, you know, but the divinity that is us, that is myself, that is you, is it's all part of the world and all part of God, and that we have to just accept that. And as we learn to accept that and recognize it, the better we understand how to use it, how to make our life better, how to make people around us better. And so, like you said, it doesn't matter if we don't know. It's not if we don't have the ignorance, if we don't know about it, it works the same way for everybody. It's just that once you are aware of it, you can make better use of it. So, anyways, anybody else have any comments or questions? Thank you. I appreciate that, Carolyn. Yes, Michael.
Thank you, Carol Ann. Let's see here. Yeah, so thank you, Caroline. That was wonderful. I just my mind was just thinking back that, before I came into this teaching, that again, the whole idea of God being outside of myself. And I think that for me was that that discovery that the kingdom of heaven is not only outside, but it's also within me. And so I think that and to take away some of the mysticism, or the mystery, not the mysticism, but the mystery of God, is that essence of God is as me, and me and through me, and I can use that. It take me back also. John and I, a few years ago, we were having a discussion back and forth about that I use the term God too much during our service, and for me, I know that it's not the term, it's it's not the term God, but it's it's my thinking, it's my belief about that term. So I think for me that the science of mind has helped me to not to put God out there, but also to understand not only is God out there, but God is within me, living its life in and through me. So thank you, Carol Ann. Again, that yeah, I got my Science of Mind book out, so I'm gonna read
Oh,
the first introduction.
I have it. It is 650 pages. And in 35, I'm going to sell Science of Mind here. And it is 650 pages. Come on. And in 35 pages, if you really stop and digest it, you get the essence. And that's what we want. We want to get the essence. And then as we get the essence, that will innately want us to know a little bit more, want us to have a little better understanding. And so doing these 4 chapters of the introduction in January is an incredible gift. It's not only a gift to the people that are listening, it's a gift to the people that are preparing this. And once again, looking at a chapter with fresh eyes, with fresh growth, with fresh understanding.
Wonderful.
And it's a miracle. It really is. It changes lives. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Was there any other questions or comments before we have John do a song?
Just a great list of topics to consider and meditate on. Very nice presentation.
Tim wants to say something.
What you were saying, it's a miracle. That's not, I don't think that's correct. It's how it works. I remember in The Power of Decision by Dr. Raymond Charles Barker, he says exactly what you were saying, only he tends to be a lot less tactful. He was saying, all of us are using this power all the time. Some smartly, others stupidly. When, by the way, I have my 1992 edition, and I think this is from the early 2000s. I need to get a leather bound like both of you have.
If you really would like to find the interesting and the essence of Ernest Holmes, get the 1926, his very first book. It's a small book. And when he wrote it, and published it. People told him, Ernest, you have to, you are not, people are not going to listen to you. People, because of the things that you're saying. And he says, but this is the truth. This is where it is. And they said, you have to couch it. You have to make it softer. Have to make it a little more gentle. People aren't ready to accept what you're writing. So 1926 you can get it on Amazon. It's not out.
Are you talking about the original edition of
original,
the Science of Mind text?
the first edition of Science of Mind, yes.
Yeah, I think I have that somewhere. I need to go back and explore it.
Yeah, I think the main thing that they didn't like about it was his part in the occult.
Chapter 6.
The what?
Chapter 6.
Chapter 6, which is the where he talks about the occult, or the
Yeah. Well, no, he
occult.
talked about psychic abilities and
Psychic
things like
abilities.
that. And I think he, again, like what was Caroline was saying, he was talked into it about, making it again more mainstream and less mystical, and I don't want, not less mystical, but less woo-woo. So I could talk all day about this stuff. I'm just gonna let John do his song.
Yes. Thank you, John.
All right. Well, we're talking about One Power. That's the name of the song. There is a power in everything, a creative force, intelligent and wise. Like clouds block the sun from our view, there is a light that we cannot see with our eyes. One power is forever present, present here and everywhere, living, changing, and creating, loving and aware. What to say, what to do, how to be, where to go. There is an underlying question, who is aware to know. One power is forever being present here and everywhere, living, changing, and creating, loving and aware. Knowing, acting, living well, being what there is to be. One power is creative and active, presenting all we see. One power is forever being present here and everywhere, living, changing, and creating, loving and aware.
Thank you, John. And again, thank you, Carol Ann. It is that time in our service where we give the opportunity to give. And there are several ways you can do that. You can go to Zelle, and with Zelle, you would go to SSC of Akron, at gmail.com, SSD of Akron at gmail.com, and you can give that way. Or you can send a check to, with the word Summit on it, 1199 Lexington Avenue, Akron, Ohio, 44310. So just take your whether it's symbolic or you actually have your out things here. Just know that right top over left that there is a power, and that power is within each and every one of us, and that all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive is blessed right now in a very fantastic way. So I know that as it is blessed, it is also returned back to the people 10 times or more, whoever may give. That there's time, talent, and treasure. That it is done in a very special way. So with that, I just give thanks. Amen. John, how about more and more good?
Good and more good is mine, and ever increasing good is mine. Unlimited, infinite good is mine. Wherever I go, I see good. Whatever I do, I feel oh so good. I'm worthy and entitled to good and more good. Good crowds itself upon us, wraps itself around us. We give ourselves permission to accept more good, express more good. Oh, good and more good is ours, and ever increasing good is ours. Thank you, Spirit, and so it is.
All right, thank you, John. And are there any announcements? Michael, if not, John can go first.
Well, I rearranging my programs and doing a few more of them, but you can check them out at yeswise.com. I'm doing Yeswise Reality and Yeswise Inspiri.
Inspiri, okay.
Inspiri.
And what about the Grandpa John show? Is that still?
Well, I've decided to relegate Grandfather John to the songs and stories.
Okay. Sounds good.
Grandfather John will pop up once in a while.
All right. Okay. I know Michael has things to say, so we'll turn it
Yes, newthoughtmedia.org. Yes, that's where I live most of the week. So lots of good programs on there. And the one thing I'd like, again, if you could all do this would be greatly appreciated. If you could go on our YouTube channel and just subscribe. That helps us more than anything else. Again, to helps us not only to monetize the channel, but also to helps us to get the message out to a larger audience. So again, if you just go on New Thought Media Network on YouTube, and then just click on the subscribe button, that would really be appreciated. So thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, unless there's any other announcements, we're going to do a moment of silence. I'm going to ring us in and I'm going to ring us out. And just please take into mind and into your thoughts anybody who may need some healing, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, or it's just for our planet in general and for more peace and calm throughout our planet. All right, I'll bring us in. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
We are the people of love. We are the people of love. Sing out, people, sing out love. We are the people of love. We are the people of peace. We are the people of peace. Sing out, people, sing out peace. We are the people of peace. We are the people of joy. We are the people of joy. Sing out, people, sing out joy. We are the people of joy. We are the people of love. We are the people of love. Sing out, people, sing out love. We are the people of love. We are the people of love.
All right, and thank you so much. And Hannah, you can end our Facebook feed. And